Hello. Welcome to the very first ever Vagabond Ramble On podcast. Wow. Wow. It's happening. It's happening, and it's happening in a car, nonetheless. It's happening on my cracked Samsung Galaxy phone as well. It's happening as have a bunch of shit in this car, ready to go back to my brother's place and reside there for a little longer after I've been cat sitting at my beautiful auntie's for the last week. And yeah, cat sitting with her beautiful kitty. Now I'm gonna go see my cat, Raji. So yeah, I am I don't really know what I'm gonna share here exactly, hence why it's called Ramble On. But I did record something last night. I just got the idea to be like, just fucking press record and just start there. So I did. And then there's been some issues with that, like the audio didn't work or something. Because you can't hear what I'm saying. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just try it again. Speak about the points that came up last night and share them with you here. So this is a portal, because it is called Vagabond Art Portal. And I am so excited to really unravel that with you. I'm not sure how it's supposed to look or be exactly, but I do have a vision of it really being a place to come back to self, to center self, to find thyself, to be thyself through art, through various arts, truly liberating ourselves from being in our own expression of beauty, of being ourselves. So, and also getting wealthy as fuck with it too. Which that's the chord that I'm like, how do we do that though? How does one do that? Not sure yet. I've been working vigorously with that concept for literally, I can't even tell you how long. Reading all types of books of breaking through with money freedom and all this stuff. And also a fuck ton of somatic healing work and something I call Roga, which I can get into a little bit later. We'll see how this flows because, again, it is called Ramble On, so we might save that one for down the line. But you can definitely, if you see any of my social media, you'll be able to find little glimpses of Roga on there. A lot of people are probably wondering, like, what the fuck is this girl up to, you know? And the interesting thing is, like, I know what I'm up to in the grand scheme of it. Like, I'm like, can see this vision. But it's like, just like you, there's been no guidebook to get me there. There's been no map laid out to get me there. However, that is something I'm bringing into my sessions now, and I'm so excited about it because it's like, oh yeah, we actually can map and set goals and bring that masculine energy that is needed for this world too, to be clear and concise and direct with our energy. Because floating in the chaos and the vision and the creativity and the dreamy vibes is absolutely needed. It's how we are going to teleport soon. It's how we're going to really tune into our wild inventions and innovations for this future of this planet and beyond. And also make beautiful art. But we do need both. We do need both sides of the picture. Which I've been floating along in the other way for a very long time. So yeah, I'm starting to tune in and bring my masculine energy of like, okay, yeah, it's actually time to get some shit done. And I don't want to fool you because I have been working behind the scenes doing things called somatic coaching, really leveling up my skills there of being able to hold space in a beautiful way. So I'm feeling very confident with that now. I was really nervous about it before of like, hope I can hold space okay. I tried to jump from student to master within a second, basically. And then I lost my laptop, hence I'm on my phone, and the laptop went bye-bye. And it wasn't fun because it was excruciating because I had to go through all these over 30 hours of practicums, which is one-on-one sessions online with my peers, basically like coaching therapy sessions dramatically. And I had to redo them all, which was a blessing in disguise because there's always blessings in disguise, as I've realized. And it taught me that, okay, you can't just jump from student to master. You need to take time to work at this skill and actually build yourself up. So that's what I've been doing. I want to say tirelessly, but I've been also allowing time in nature and my time to really gauge and be with myself too. But I've been using that masculine calendar like you've never seen it before from me. My cousin, we used to joke, she'd be like, okay, let's set a date in the calendar and let's hang out in like a couple weeks. We'd open up my calendar and it'd be blank, like completely blank. Because I had things that I knew that I needed to do, but it was like in my head. And she'd be like, okay, how about this day? It's free. And I'm like, I think that day's busy actually. And she's like, well, it looks blank on your calendar. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, well, I really think there's something that day. And that was like the beginning of really understanding how much I've resisted rules and calendars and planning and all of it. And it's like, you can't really run your life's purpose that way. I was gonna say company or business, but those words I feel like are like trickling out of my world. I feel like this is so much bigger than that for me. It just doesn't really resonate, those words. I think we'll soon not have words at all, which is great because I can't make sentences either if you've heard any of these. Like, yeah, they like some people have been like, it's like your periods are in the middle of your sentences and things. So anyway, I really feel like eventually we will be just working with telepathic waves and feeling vibration and energy that way by sensing, because I really believe that we are all psychic. We all have these superpowers that are literally here within us at any given moment, but we as a humanity and species have had so much going on in our world over our whole entire life that we've just been trying to keep our head above water, let alone and not letting ourselves tap into our superpowers, which is telepathic waves, which is telekinesis, like all of it. I really feel like it's here. And I think that there's so many more that we don't know about either. Um, I said this last night in the podcast premiere that you'll never hear because the sound is not there. But my homie, darling, mama, sister, Ash, she came up when she was a child. She came up with like equations and things. I'm not completely sure what happened, but she mentioned that as she was a kid, she was doing like plans for teleporting stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, okay. I hound her every time I talk to her about this because it feels like we need you. We need that. We need that here. I don't fucking know how that works. But I do believe so much in our potential and how much we have. We have literally the whole galactic field. And there's a potential, and I want to be here to feel it all and experience as much as we can before I head to the other side. So, yeah, Vagabond Art Portal was birthed really at the, it was kind of, yeah, I don't know, I would say conceptualized, but also conceived at the time of, I don't know, probably like 8 years ago or so. And I was in this place of being in a parking lot at the park. It's like a lot happening. But yeah, so I was I was living and working in Vancouver, and I was living in the people would refer to this probably as the butthole of Canada. It's a really dense area that a lot of homeless, a lot of addictions, and a lot of just very low density energy is. A lot of victimhood. And I myself was there too. I was living in a place, I had an apartment there above all the mayhem, but like it was a real vibe, you know. I've been victim for most of my life. Um, and nothing's wrong with letting yourself be that. Like I think we're supposed to allow ourselves to grieve and feel the pain of being a fucking human. Like it's an intense ride. It's an intense fucking ride here. I don't think we need to be held by it. I don't think we need to keep that holding us back from our biggest, wildest dreams, which is partly what Vagabond Art Portal is all about, is connecting to our most wildest dreams, remembering that we have wild dreams, remembering that we came here for a reason. And we have such potent medicine, not only for ourselves, but each other too. So when I was living in Vancouver in this place, I'd be smoking my bong out the window and there was like so much mayhem on the streets. I'd be looking down. There was ambulances, ODs all the time, every hour happening. Just it was pure and utter hell. It was legit hell. And I was a mess too. Like I'm no better. I'm sitting in my window smoking a bong, thinking like, what is life, you know? And also feeling like I don't know what to do or how to help this situation. Like I feel so fucking helpless. I don't know. I can barely keep my head above water. And but this is a real issue, and why the fuck is the government not helping with this? And when I say that, I also want to note that I know that there's programs out there. I know that there's people in the field really, really doing their work and doing such a good job trying to keep people's head above water, you know? Um, I do feel like personally, I believe it comes back to people being seen and heard and felt and connecting with themselves very deeply. Not just deeply, but even just connecting with themselves. And yeah, healing the shame, healing the sexuality, like the wound of feeling shame around sex, because sex is creative life force energy. It's through us. It literally creates worlds. It creates so much in our reality. And so when we have a kink in that, like and not a good kink, but like a kink in that cord of our sexual energy, it's stifled. We're stifled. We don't have as much access to our grandest dreams. So at this time, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I was talking to my friend Ash, who I think's gonna come up with the teleporting um invention or like remind us of that power anyway, and we're gonna to do that soon. But yeah, so she and I and my friend Jema, who showed me the apartment, she actually lived in the apartment before me, and she was like, hey, if you want to live in Vancouver, this place isn't bad for rent, or it was definitely like doable. Like for me to move to Vancouver, I'm like, okay, I can figure that out. So, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Yeah, so Ash and I remember talking about this, like, what can we do? What can we do? Like, volunteer at a soup kitchen, you know, like, what do we do? And at the time, I was just like, it all just feels so, I don't know, like it's a bigger thing, you know? It's so much bigger. So that's when Vagabond Art Portal was birthed. And at the time, it was called, it started to become Vagabond Lifestyle Company, which feels a bit cringy. So I'm like, we pushed that out and we've just revamped and now calling it Vagabond Art Portal, which I'm really excited about because it really does feel like a portal to come back to your freedom, your self-liberation, your artistry. And remembering that home is always literally within you. Like you are at home no matter what, even when you're like in limbo here. Um, yeah. So, and as I say that, I realize I'm in a car, so like I'm not on the street, so I feel very privileged in that way. Like I feel like I'm very lucky to have family to support me. But also that comes with so much of a different vibe too. Like I feel shame and guilt of like I need to figure this out. Like if I'm so stubborn not to get a 9 to 5 right now, like I need to figure this out. And the goal is to support myself with my art. It keeps coming back to that, support myself with my art. A big part of that was because it's like what I do. I call it Roga, so I will share it here. I guess it feels right. So a few years back, it was yeah, about 8 years ago. I'm really bad with time, but I think it was around 8 years ago-ish. I went to get my teacher training for yoga. Got my yoga teacher training, and then I went and straight away got my Reiki certificate. And at the time, I was in like this pretty rocky relationship, and I was really, really sad the one day. I don't know if we were breaking up or what was happening, but I felt so much pain in my heart. And all I could do was hold my heart and breathe, and just, I could feel my hands take this sadness out of my heart and my hands. It legit felt like a vacuum, and there's no word of lie. I felt this vacuuming energy out of my heart and into my hands. And I remember looking at my hands and being like, holy shit, my heart isn't sad anymore. My hands feel heavy. I started shaking them. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And then Roga, so that became like Reiki and Yoga Roga. That was the vibe. And then from there, it was like, it's evolved so much since, like every day basically. Since any little thing I would learn, I'd be like, oh, that feels like a part of Roga, or something I felt natural to do, like, oh, like just letting myself express and be free with my expression, mimicking the animal world, sounding, shaking, stomping, just letting myself be childish to really help move the energy through was like, yeah, really, it felt like the art of self-liberation is what I've gotten. And it also, I've gotten too from spirit, from source, that it's also a quantum healing art. It's a way of really connecting to yourself and really alchemizing and healing your body in a way that feels true and right to you. I know that sounds like a fucking huge thing. Like, I get it. And I cannot sit here and say like this is the most epic thing, because I also have so much pain in my body. Like, this is why I move and shake, because I have pain in my body. This world's fucking intense, right? So we carry pain. We're all empaths. And so we hold that energy in our bodies until we release it. So um that's when I started getting into, so I went into, I'm not gonna go too deep into this right now, but just in terms of, just to go into the somatic part, I started learning about sexual healing and this and tantra and somatics and somatic therapy, because I was like, I need to heal. I had an STD. It was herpes. And I was like, fuck, no one's gonna want to be with me, all this stuff. I was like, no, this is awful, awful, awful. Fuck. Didn't want to be here anymore, you know? So then I was like, okay, well, I know this is the portal to self-love. I know this is what I need to do to come back to myself, to really feel my energy, and yeah, start to love myself, because I really didn't know how to deeply love myself. I would talk about it, I would preach about it, and because at head level, I could conceptualize that is a really important thing. Of course, you need to do that. But at the depth level of like really believing in self and loving self was like, whoa, pretty fucking tricky. Like I didn't know how, until I got this little self-love portal, which was anyway, can't even say it out loud because there's people around. So there's still some work to do there. Always work to do. Anyway, so that was the beginning of having this bridge with somatic healing and Roga, because somatic healing started showing me of like, holy shit, what I've been doing with Roga is actually very similar to somatic healing. Somatic healing is listening into your body, feeling what's there, and letting it alchemize and move as you listen and feel. So it's completing a stress cycle in your body. So when there's a trauma in your body at some point in any of your ages, there was a basically like a, I want to say shattering of some part of you that was like wasn't able to that was like really, really in fight or flight, and it couldn't complete the stress cycle because we live in a world where it's not normal to shake and stomp and have a tantrum when you're upset, or if you are in such fear state, it's it's looked down upon if you are like crying hysterically, or yeah, running. Like, we hold it so much in our body, right? So I was like, holy shit, this is wild. Like, this is such a cool bridge, and to see that there's science backing what I've been really talking about for years. Like, I was like very, very proud of myself, and this is me patting myself on the back and shoulder, because like I am very happy, because I followed this gut knowing of like, okay, I need to share this with the world. When I realized this power in my hands, I was like, this is far beyond any certificate. This is something that's literally within us, no matter what. With you, if we have a paper or not, like, we have this always. It's just about tuning in with our intention to this powerful source. That's us. So that was like my mission, was like, I need to spread this word. I need to remind people of these powerful hands. And why not do that when we're in yoga, and also, yeah, like just listening to our body. So then it became this thing of shaking and stomping and sounding and all this fun stuff. So it's been evolving. Now we have somatics with it, because it all kind of enthralls each other. Sorry, I don't know words sometimes, so that's what we're gonna say. And yeah, so that was a really epic part, and I really feel like this kind of modality could help us with our coming back to self, coming back to this home, letting go of the addictions. Like, some really good friends of mine, and I just found out last night, recently, our friend from out west OD'd, and like, what in the fuck? Like, how is this actually happening? How is this okay? It's not okay. But I feel like, I'm still in shock about that, actually. Like, I just found out last night, so I'm in shock. And it's just, yeah, anyway, so we have to do something about it, is what I feel. And the solution that's come up for me and is like bubbling through, and it's time. It's called Vagabond Art Portal. And it's a space to come home to yourself and together. And so it's online and offline. It's pop-up festivals, and also pop-up artisans, online and offline, with the local communities around. So for years I've been like, oh my God, who am I to have this big grand dream? Like, who am I to have this, be able to bring Roga to the world, blah, 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 woe is me, I'm not good enough, I'm not blah, 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 worthy, all this shit. And it's been like a restabilizing for fucking years. I've been in this program of somatic healing and tantra for years, and it's been like a building up of like, actually, I got this vision for a reason. Just like you have received visions and little urges, if you want to call it that, like, yeah, little nudges of like, oh, that direction, not that, this over there. Like, we can feel it. It's really deep. So yeah, that's was a big part of it all. Now, last night's podcast, I went really deep into like what happened in California, and how, like, this whole cult vibe of like how I've been terrified of cults, and like just really weirded out by them, and yeah, nervous to create anything because I don't want it to be a cult. And so I'm just gonna share this now, maybe go into the story in another podcast later on. We'll see how we feel and do over here, if anyone continues to listen, which I feel like you will, because How could you not hear me ramble on? It's so fun, right? But we will have epic guests as well. I can't wait to, really play with this and have fun with this, and also do it on a laptop would be nice sometime once I get one. So, yeah, the main code with this learning of, I'm not gonna go into the story, but like this learning of cults and things was like, no one can take my power from me. No one but me is in charge of my power. I am in control here. Beyond the universe, I feel like we have to also let the universe do its work, but just really owning our own energy and our own energy field is the biggest thing we can remember, There's no crew above us, there's nobody above us. We have put people on pedestals, celebrities and sports people. We've been putting people on pedestals for so long, forever, it seems like. When really, it's like, no, we actually all should be on the pedestal, or none of us at all. I'd rather all of us be on the pedestal. It just feels more fun to be like on there and dancing and having a good time. But I mean, yeah, either way. So, yeah, so that's the vision, is this of like having local artists share their art with their communities and really have this stage to share from and express from and have fun and feel seen and heard and felt by community, because I really feel like that is how we heal this world. This world is us individually, and together is our world, obviously, too. So, what else? I don't know what else I want to share beyond all that. Like, there's so much I want to say, but I also want to keep this fairly condensed as much as possible. Also, the sun's going down, so I need to continue to chase it. Um, one last thing I'll say is that this world needs you. You are a fucking warrior. You got through so much in this lifetime, and you have so much to share with this world. I want to hear from you. The world wants to hear your voice. Yeah, so it feels okay. I'd like to do like a quick mini activation of our royal energy. I'll just share a little bit about Roga as well. Roga has evolved to the place of now. It's now stands for royal, but feeling worthy as fuck and royal energy. Our crown's on, our queen or king energy, galactic empress, galactic emperor vibes. And also the O stands for orgasmic. So using that as a pleasure state of life, letting life teach us and show us, even when it's like fucking irky and murky. Because I've been learning with my teacher, Layla, there's many different orgasms we can have. Anger orgasm. I don't know if there's shame orgasms. Yeah, there's shame orgasms. Really feeling the body and letting all that emotion move through you is actually real. Like you can actually move energy through in those different vibrations. And using the orgasmic field, pleasure, the peak bliss state of that, how do I say it? Of this direction of feeling good, of feeling pleasure. Always not chasing the desire, but following the desire, following that nudge. And then that leads me to the galactic. So G in Roga is galactic, and it really connects us with all that is. It's coming back into our galactic realm, our remembering that we are the whole entire galaxy inside of us. And it's going into the quantum field of, we can actually choose any reality that we like in this reality that we choose. So once we move the stagnation through, once we move the stress cycles through, and so they have a loop, so they're closed, so that we're feeling more free to be ourselves, more free to take up space and expand, then we feel more in tune with our highest vision, our truth, why we came here. Yeah, teleporting off. And then the A is awareness, and I also like to call it now adventure. So it's like the adventure of awareness, being alive, feeling the aliveness of the now moment through your senses, really grounding into that. Myself, I've been so disassociated my entire life from grief, from shame. These have really held me back, and I might go deeper into all those in future podcasts, we'll see. But yeah, that has really held me back in a way of being my true authentic self, because I've been yeah, true to myself, because I've been in pain and not completely here for it, because I've been in my mind and just not really in my body living this experience as a human. I've been like trying to stay distracted in any way. That's why awareness, we're aware of our now reality. If I'm aware that I'm in a transition moment of like legit, I don't have a home right now, I'm in the middle grounds of like, yeah, transition, that awareness is key, because it's like, so right now what I've been doing before I did this is like writing about what am I desiring now from this moment of feeling like a bit like, whoa, I don't have my own home. So what is that showing me what I want? So that's that. Yeah, so that's Roga in a nutshell, quite a big nutshell, but there's more where that came from too. So can't wait to journey with you more with that. Yeah, I love to host Roga sessions, one-on-one sessions, also like offline in nature feels really good. I like to offer beach yoga. Yeah, so many fun places. So stay tuned to my social medias if you want to connect and yeah, vibe that way. But for now, I'd love to offer up a mini little activation of really feeling our royal selves, because that's the dopest part, is that we get to choose, we get to be ourselves, just royal as fuck. All right, and I could talk forever, so we're gonna condense it. When you're ready, if you feel called, if you're not driving, if you are, we do this later. Making any sounds that feel good as you start to ground into your body. Meaning, feeling your sit bones on the seat, anchoring down, down, down. And with the breath in, feel that energy drawing up, up, up. When you exhale, you're feeling grounding down to that earth energy, earth. And as you inhale, you're feeling that cosmic field, the galactic field, oneness. Knowing that you're safe, you're in control here. You always are the guide here. Inhaling to lengthen up. And exhale, grounding down. If your body feels like moving, listen to it, follow it, shaking to create more space for yourself. Maybe sounding gently. And that feels really strange. I invite you to just open your mouth and exhale very deeply. our throat chakras have been held back for quite some time, and blocked, so it can feel very normal to not want to sound and feel weird about the sounding. In time, I definitely suggest if you can and you feel okay with it, just start letting yourself sound a little bit more. It really helps activate this creative genius that's here within us all. And it also connects us with that pleasure state as well. As we inhale, we're feeling that lengthen through our spine. We're feeling that crown on our head, feeling this royal energy all throughout our body. Feeling sparkly as fuck here. Just notice what that feels like in your body. How do you cultivate the sensation of feeling sparkly as fuck in your body? What does that feel like? And just trust me that you can tune into this in your own way. We all have that capacity to feel it. Because at our deepest core, we are this sunlight energy. Letting yourself just expand and relax into the shoulders. Moving. Noticing how it feels to be in your body as you feel royal. What does royalty feel like? How does it feel? Not the weird, icky kind that's corrupt worlds, but the royal self that feels worthy as fuck for just simply existing in this now moment. Just notice where you go with this. Where do you see yourself being your royal self? How do you enter a room? How do you carry your energy? How do you speak? What are you doing? These are all, you can also journal into these as well later on. Getting a little glimpse of what you sense here. Ooh, you tasting. You smelling. Where are you in the world? Maybe you're on another planet. What are you experiencing here as your royal self? We'll just take a couple more deep breaths, feeling that crown on, lit up, glowing wildly, almost like lightning, the electric vibe of lightning. All that power reside in and through your cells, every cell of your body. Feeling it light up every cell of your body to allow it to become a new state of being. The royal self represents health and vitality, agility, strength. Breathe it in and exhale. Anything that doesn't feel like that. Shake it out. Breath like this. Closing your practice for today. On this last breath, I invite you to sound with me again. If you'd rather just exhale quite loudly or sighing, that's cool too. Or you're welcome to sound gibberish. any option here. There's no right or wrong way. Just you tuning into yourself, your royal, orgasmic, galactic, aware self. So when you're ready, deep breath in, feel that crown again on your head. And exhale. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here with you. The sun is now set over there. I need to go find it over there. My last little walk here. So, yeah, I can't thank you enough for being here, trusting in this rambling, trusting that there is maybe some juicy nuggets that you can land in your body if they resonate. And if they don't, shoot, just toss them along, find something else. Just always remember that connecting back to your inner galactic realm, yourself, is the true medicine of our time. It's really what will, yeah, wake and quake this planet back to its harmonic state. So I invite you to, yeah, maybe journal about what's come up, or maybe go back into those questions. Where do you see yourself as your royal self? How does it feel to feel in your body this sparkly energy? Just really giving yourself this time and space to encode this new you, which actually isn't new, it's actually quite ancient. This old you, it's all one. And just choosing from this galactic field of who and how we want to be. I'm choosing Galactic Empress over here for my reality, and I get tested all the time of like, I don't think so. Like, you really think you are? Blah, blah, blah. And I get knocked to my feet a lot, but it's like this picking up and putting my crown back on and being like, no, I really do believe that we have everything at our fingertips. And remembering our worth and loving ourselves through it is so everything. So I love you, love you, love you. Stay tuned with how you can connect with Vagabond Art Portal. There's going to be events coming up online, offline as well. And my hands are freezing, so I'm going to close the windows and get a toque on, and yeah. But I love you so much, and yeah, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully there'll be some guests coming online as well soon to share their beautiful perspective, because I can't wait to hear all of our beautiful perspectives and how we see this beautiful planet being in harmony, balance, freedom, love, truth, truth, the truth, truth, truth. The truth will set us free. I don't know who said it, but like, damn, that's the gangsters of gangsters I've ever heard in my life. The quote. Anyway, I love you. Take care.